I just bought this little quad bike. It's a Suzuki LT50. Just paid a few $100s for it. The guy I got it off's not sure if it runs or anything. Sadly, it's been sitting outside in the weather for a number of years, and yeah, no idea if the motor runs or not. I have pulled the pull start, and there is a little bit of compression there, so hopefully it'll be a runner, although she needs a good tidy up before I even start on that. Sadly, there's a fair bit of corrosion on the frame, so it's going to need a good sand up and a good clean up. And I just checked in here, and there's a bit of rust inside there, so that's going to need a good sort out as well. These little quad bikes are pretty indestructible, but a lot of people don't realise that underneath the seat is where you put the oil in for the two-stroke. It's a self-priming engine, but people forget to top the oil up, and they run out of oil, and then the motor blows up very quickly. But this one feels like it's got compression, although the pull start isn't working particularly well either. And I notice there's no air cleaner on there, so that's not a good sign. But we'll give it a good going over and give the frame a good sand up and tidy up and get her back into ship-shape condition. See how much oil's in here. Oh, that's not a good sign. Bone dry. Looks like there's been leaking a bit. There's a bit of oil there. That's interesting. Maybe it's just been leaking out. There's a slight split in that pipe there. Hopefully it's just been leaking out and not run out of oil and the motor destroyed. I've just taken the spark plug out, and I thought before I go too far I might just put the scope down the bore and see what we can see, and just see if there's any damage or lines in the bore or anything like that. So just put the scope down in the hole. Doesn't look too bad from there. The piston's nice and clean. That's the port you can see there. That's alright. Well, there's no major scoring on the bore that I can see. Incredible, that piston's so clean. Surprising. Yeah, oh well, maybe it is alright. What I might do is get it running first and make sure it is a good runner, and then I'll do my cleanup after that and tidy everything up and strip it down. But in the meantime, yeah, everything is pretty corroded and everything's stiff. All the bearings are stiff, the steering is stiff. If you can see the rust on there, but it needs a good tidy up, and it's actually had a weld down there. So I'll put the wire brush onto that and see if we can tidy that up and make sure it's alright. Some pretty dirty remnants of whatever was in there came out. There's no point running that through the motorbike or through the carburetor, it would just blocked it up. So that's going to need an urgent clean. Check out how bad that is. That is all full of some sort of corrosion. It's pretty horrendous. If you tried to put that through the carburetor, it wouldn't have gone very far. Try and give that a clean up. Well, that sure took some cleaning. That was really caked on. It used the brake clean to get off and then a little wire brush to scrub it, but it's a whole lot better now, so I can now put that back together again. Yep, based on that, I think I'm definitely going to have to pull the carburetor off to give it a clean, as it's probably going to be in pretty bad shape. Well, I just started taking the carburetor apart, and I don't know if you can see, but there's water dripping out of the carburetor. That ain't a good sign. In fact, oh yeah, it's just full of water. And the throttle cable is seized up, and it actually feels like it's seized in here, so the first job is to try and get that out. I think the slide might be, like the carburetor might be just fully chocker, full of water. It looks pretty clean in there. Wow. Check that out. Full of water. And that, fair bit of corrosion in there. I'll take a bit of cleaning. I've just given that a quick rinse through the vapor blaster, and it's made a jolly good job. Still a bit of corrosion in the bottom, but vapor blaster's brought it up really good, even to the main jet as well, and done a great job cleaning that up as well. So we'll put it in, see if it works. Might as well check to see if we've got spark first. Yep, it's as good as gold. Well, that's not a great sign. It's got water in there. You can see there's a bit of moisture on the end of there, and the first little bit that came out of that was water, unfortunately. Let's see if we can get it going. I've put a little inline fuel filter on it because I'm pretty sure that tank's still got some dirt in it, but let's see if we can get it fired up. Oh, it runs. Clearly needs a bit of a tune. We'll see if that helps. Well, that runs pretty good. The throttle cable was just hooked up a little bit, and that's why it was idling so high. But apart from that, it seems good. One of these wheels is a little bit out of kilter, but I think the axle is straight, so that's the main thing. Oh, sweet little runner. So probably we'll pull it apart and give it a good sand and paint and tidy up. these bikes have an awesome reputation, but one thing they have a big problem with is the two-stroke oiling system. It runs a very strange system, and the oil comes from the tank here, comes down into the pump here, and then from the pump there's actually an orifice in the casing that goes all the way up to the bore and then into the head, and it drip feeds oil into the head. On most two strokes the oil gets pumped to the carburetor, and then it goes well, just after the carburetor into the inlet manifold, and then goes down. But the problem with this system is that the head can carbon up, block the orifice coming up the bore, and then the oil stops going through. So what we're going to do is actually disable this and make it so it's just a premix system. But one thing we're going to do is try and take the gear drive out of the pump here. So otherwise, if we don't have oil going through it, there's a chance that it could seize up. So I think that would be the best alternative. Well, I've taken the plunger out of there, so that will definitely stop it pumping. That was the on top of the drive mechanism, and that should stop it pumping, I'd imagine. Just got to block that little tube off there, and to stop dirt and grime getting down there, and that will do it. Well, this bike's been built as a gift for our 7-year-old grandson who lives at the other end of New Zealand, so we've packaged it all up and shipping it down there for him, and hope he gets to enjoy it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
You got it, dude. I'll give you a 30. We're gonna have a race.